Welcome to the Am I the Asshole podcast. Let's get into it. All right, we got our first scenario. Am I the asshole for not revealing my height on a dating app? Whew, brother, you and so many. So I recently started using a popular dating app and things were going pretty well. I chatted with this amazing person for a few days and we really hit it off. We share interests, had a great sense of humor, and our conversations flowed smoothly. However, there was one thing I hadn't mentioned: my height. Short king gang. You see, I'm not particularly tall, and I've always felt a bit self conscious about it. When the topic of height came up in our conversations, I skillfully dodged it and redirected the conversation to other topics. Whoo, she was like, red flag. I bet all her friends were like, that's a red flag, girl. That's a red flag, girl. Ooh, he must be a good looking dude or something. I knew I should have been honest, but I was afraid that revealing my height would make this wonderful connection we were building fizzle out. Eventually, we decided to meet up for a date. I was excited and nervous at the same time. The day arrived, and I was walking into the coffee shop where we were meeting. I would feel my heart racing when I spotted my date. I could tell she was surprised by my height. It was clear that she had expected me to be taller. Throughout the date, there was a few awkward moments where my date seemed distant. Despite our chemistry online, it felt like something had changed. The date ended on a polite note, but the energy was definitely different. I couldn't help but wonder if I had messed up not revealing my height earlier. Now I'm left wondering if I'm the asshole for not being upfront about my height. Should I have been more honest from the beginning, even if it meant potentially losing a connection that felt so promising? Or was it okay to withhold the information to give us a chance to connect on a deeper level first? Oh, you know, I'm going to tell you now, I'm only 5'7", so I'm a short king too, if I'm being honest with you, my G. And I get where he's coming from, because you connect with somebody so well. You guys have, like he said, it was a great sense of humor. You guys had a lot of things in common, shared interests. Your conversations flowed. Like, that's hard to find a lot of times in a girl. You know what I mean? It is. It's very hard to find that. Like, as a guy, it's hard to find somebody that you just kind of connect with and that you're cool with. Not somebody that you're just like, oh, she's just physically attractive, so that's why I deal with her. It's hard to find like all of that, and when you do find that, it sucks because little things like this can fuck it up. My thing is, he probably should have just, uh, he probably should have just said it at the beginning. I mean, I know in the moment you're not thinking that, because as a guy, you're doing everything to make it work. You're like, I want this to work. I want to get into it. But I can honestly tell you, he even said he skillfully dodged the conversations and turned it into different directions. For her, I can guarantee that was red flag. You know what I mean? In her mind, I can guarantee she was talking to her friends like, oh girl, every time I ask about his height, he just gives me the run around, da 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 da. And so I can understand where he's coming from with that situation. It's just one of those things where it was just like, I couldn't, man. You know what I mean? I couldn't. It's one of those things where you probably have to just say it from the beginning, and if the connection falls apart, it falls apart, and then you're just on to the next. That would be my advice. Is he the asshole for wanting to connect on a deeper level? No, not at all. And she's not an asshole either. I mean, look, people have preferences, and it is what it is. He'll find a girl out there that likes a short guy. It happens. You'll find a girl, that's 5'2", 5'1", and she'll date you just fine. Why? Because you're fucking 6 foot to her. Like, that's a win right then and there. You know what I mean? So it's one of those things where it's like, you should just be honest from the get-go, and whatever happens, you know what I mean? And just kind of move on, because, you're going to waste your time. I get it. Like I said in the beginning, it's hard to find those things in a girl, especially online. You know what I mean? It's hard to find that even now online. So I can understand that. Most definitely. All right, we got our next one. Am I the asshole for canceling a date last minute? Ooh. All right. Hey, so here's the deal. I've been chatting with this amazing girl I met on a dating app. We finally decided to meet up for a coffee date. Wow, this is a guy canceling. Okay. I was really looking forward to it, but on the day of the date, my friend called me in a bit of a crisis. They needed someone to talk to urgently, and I didn't want to leave them hanging. I felt torn between canceling the date to be there for a friend and going ahead with the date as planned. In the end, I chose to cancel the date and explain the situation to her. She seemed pretty upset and disappointed, and now I'm wondering if I made the right call. Am I the asshole for canceling the date last minute? Okay, guys don't normally do this, and that's surprising. Like, that's the one thing that's surprising for me, because guys usually don't cancel a date, especially for that. I mean, he would just be like, hey, sorry, motherfucker, peace, I got a date, but man, it could be a situation. We don't have all the information, so it could be a situation where this is his friend for like 10 plus years, 20 plus years, or it could have been a thing where the family member's dying, or we don't know the situation and the severity of it. I mean, he did say it was like a bit of a crisis, and so with that, I can understand how he's like, holy shit, I gotta be there, like, dang. Oh, and I just don't know if he will get another date. You know what I mean? If there's some girls out there, go ahead and comment. Would you give him a second date? Because a lot of times, man, girls don't take L's well. All right, girls don't take L's well. Girls will be like, "Oh my God, he's not into me. He's not interested. Whatever. Forget this guy." Her friends will be on her back like, "He wasn't even worth it anyway. You could do better." And you know what I mean? And rightfully so. I'm sure she feels rejected. She feels like, "Oh my God, he doesn't like me," and so it's fine. I understand that, but I hope, for his sake, man, for one, the crisis was something good. He did say he explained it to her, but she seemed upset. But yeah, man. Whew. That's a tough one, because that's your friend. You know what I mean? It is. That's your friend at the end of the day, and you want to be able to be there for your friend, because your friend is somebody who, especially if you've had around for a long time. You know what I mean? Yeah. I just hope the best for that guy. That's all I'm going to say. I mean, I can't really help the guy out too much, because like I said, guys don't do this. Girls usually flake. All right. So, am I the asshole for calling out my date's rudeness? Oh, this is just like the previous episode. Okay, so I recently went on a blind date that my friend set up for me. I hate blind dates. Oh, Jesus. I was pretty excited to meet this person. Let's call them Alex. Because we had chatted a bit and seemed to have common interests, we decided to meet up on a cozy coffee shop date for our first date. Things were going really well at first. We both were laughing, sharing stories, and getting to know each other better. However, as we were in the middle of conversation, Alex's phone kept buzzing constantly. At first, I didn't mind, assuming it might be something important, but then I realized they were texting and checking social media while I was talking. I brushed it off a couple of times, but it started to bother me more and more. I felt like they were more interested in their phone than in the conversation. After about 20 minutes of this, I finally said, "Hey, is everything okay? You seem a bit distracted." Alex looked a bit surprised and put his phone down, saying, "Oh, sorry, it's just some work stuff and a few friends messaging me." I tried to be understanding and said, "No worries, but it feels a bit distracting when we're trying to have a conversation." Instead of apologizing or putting their phone away, Alex got defensive and said, "Well, I can multitask. It's no big deal." That's an L. And I'll tell you why. I was taken aback by their response and replied, "I understand, but it makes me feel like you're really present here with me." Alex let out an annoying sigh and said, geez, you're really being sensitive about this. That's another L. You already taken 2 L's, bro. Man, she really ain't giving you no booty. At that point, I was frustrated and said, I just think it's rude to be on your phone constantly during a date. If you're not interested, we can just end it here. Alex huffed and put their phone away, but the atmosphere had completely changed. The rest of the date felt awkward, and we both decided to call it a night shortly after. Told you, no booty. As we parted ways, Alex gave me a cold hug and said, maybe you're just too uptight about things. Brother, my brother in Christ, that's the 3rd L right there. You're done. She doesn't ever want to talk to you ever again. I can't help but feel like I may have overreacted, but generally believe that being on the phone constantly during a date is disrespectful. Am I the asshole for calling out Alex's behavior? Okay, let's take it from the top. All right. For one, it seems like she was attracted to this Alex person, okay, which is great because a lot of times, when you go out on a blind date, a lot of times they're, especially on the girl's end, I can speak for the guy. A lot of times a guy's going to be like, oh, she's somewhat attractive, whatever, this and that. For a girl, it's different. A lot of times for a girl, if she doesn't find him like immediately attractive, a lot of times she's just not going to be into the date. And the fact that this is a huge W. Like Alex is already on a huge W. They're going for a coffee date, so it's very intimate, and that's really nice. I love that. They're laughing, sharing stories, getting to know each other, But the fact that she communicated, hey, is everything okay? You seem a bit distracted. He gave a great response. I mean, he was just, oh, sorry, it's just some work and some friend things. Now when she said, no worries, it's just distracting, trying to have a conversation, this is where the L comes in, because he said, well, we can multitask, it's no big deal. Why would you do that? You know what I mean? Look, I'm going to advocate for this every single time. When you're on a date, as the man, you control the date, you control the frame. She already likes you, and that's great. That's wonderful, because in blind dates, you hardly ever get that, She already likes you. She's having the conversation. She's getting to know you. Everything seems great. I mean, even if it is work and friends, why are you on your phone, bro? What are you doing? You know what I mean? Why are you on your phone? Like, that's an L. And I can guarantee you she was in her head like, strike one. And I'm sure he was attractive enough for her to even give, strike 2 and 3, because I mean, most girls would have just been like, all right, look. And she even said that too. She was just like, I mean, if you're not interested, we can just end it here. Like, which she should have done, if I'm being honest with you. Like, Broham was just, he was just being stupid. I'm like, what are you doing, man? Why are you even out on this date? I get it. It's a blind date. Maybe he wasn't super interested in it because obviously she was the one that got set up on the blind date, so he probably wasn't all that interested in the date. But still, it's like, at least show a little bit of interest, I mean, homeboy, like I said, man. And then again, here's that whole, maybe he was trying to do it to be like manly or whatever. There's a great saying, women are like cats, and if you tend to ignore them a little bit, they're going to want more attention. And maybe that was the play he was trying to go for. Maybe he was trying to go for a play of like, all right, look, girls don't like it when you like all up in they shite nay, and you're being too much, it may give them the ick, this and that, whatever. My biggest thing is when you're on a first date, you let her do the talking. The reason being is because the best way to be a stoic, be a little more masculine on the date, control that frame, is for her to do the talking. Let her kind of dictate the flow of the date. Because think about it like this: if a girl is not talking a lot on a date, she's not interested in you. 100%. She's not interested in you. Let's just keep it under P. She's not going to sit there and talk to you. She's not going to try to get to know you. She's not going to keep continuing the conversation. If you're a guy and you're out on a date and you ask her, oh, what are your hobbies? And she gives you, oh, I like to do this, this, and that. She doesn't like you. All right. Now she's doing what this girl was doing, where, they're telling stories, they're getting to know each other, the conversation's bouncing back and forth. It's kind of great. She is into you, and it's up for you to just get to know her, ask her questions, let her talk. She's like, oh my God, I'm kind of rambling, aren't I? And you're like, no, don't worry about it. It's all good, baby. You kind of want to have that nice dynamic. Women love that dynamic. They love it. They love to be heard, They love to talk about their hard day at work, or, their friend who, I don't know, got in trouble with the police. I have no idea. But you know what I mean? It's just one of those things where it's like there's a way to do it. There's a way to do it. And the way he did it was just womp womp, like, you failed, my G. Again, I get where these guys are coming from. They're trying to control the frame on the date. They're trying to be that masculine figure for her, but for him it was like he didn't even really have to try that hard, because she was already attracted to him. Maybe he didn't know that off the rip, but she was already attracted to him. Like, she was giving the conversation. She was all about it. You could tell she was like, yeah, I find him attractive enough to have the conversation with him, to continue going on, and she gave him 3 shots. Most girls give dudes 1. Most girls give 1. They're like, the whole phone thing, a lot of girls probably wouldn't have been like, oh, is everything okay? No, they'd have just been like, all right, look, dog, I'm done. I'm calling me an Uber. Peace. Because it's a blind date. A lot of times they're like, I don't know this person. I don't really care. And so the fact that they're doing that, she's giving him all these shots and opportunities. Bro, why aren't you taking it? You know what I mean? Why aren't you taking it? You just struck out. So that's on you, man. Let me know down in the comments what you think on that situation, because, you two ladies, because I want your opinions on it. Did she immediately find him attractive right off the rip? Was it a thing where she gave him multiple shots because, she really liked the guy? You let me know, because I want to know. All right. Am I the asshole for inviting my date to a surprise event? All right. I, 28 female, recently went on a few dates with this amazing guy, 30 male, I met online. We hit it off really well, and there's definitely a connection between us. Our conversations are engaging, and we share a lot of common interests. Now, here's where things get a bit tricky. I found out about this upcoming surprise event, a grand masquerade ball that's known for being one of the most glamorous and exciting parties of the year. It's in a few weeks, and I thought it would be a perfect opportunity for us to have a memorable, magical night together. So I decided to take the initiative and bought 2 tickets for the event. I didn't tell my date about it. That's where you fucked up. Wanting it to be a surprise. Okay. When you buy things like that, I would kind of want to know, because I got to get a suit. I got to get, ready. I got to have things in place, especially as the man. You want to look nice. I thought it'd be a fun way to show my interest and potentially take our relationship to the next level. However, when I excitedly mentioned it to a friend, they raised some concerns. They thought that I might be overstepping boundaries by planning such a big event without consulting my date first. They said it would make him uncomfortable or feel pressured into going, even if he might not be ready for something like that. I'm torn. I genuinely thought I was creating a romantic and special experience, but I don't want to come across as pushy or make him uncomfortable. Am I the asshole for planning a surprise event without discussing with my date beforehand? Should I tell him about it and let him decide if he wants to go, or should I keep it a surprise and hope for the best? Tell him. Reason being is because something like that. Okay, think about it like this. If it's like a boat ride, or, you guys are gonna go to something maybe simpler, like a concert or something like that. Maybe he likes this certain band and you bought tickets for it. That's great. But something like this, where it's fancy, you got to dress up, you should be prepared for it, maybe dude doesn't know how to dance, you know what I mean? Maybe dude's kind of nervous about that. You never know with these kind of things, and that's why I feel like, she's not an asshole or anything, but you should tell him. You should have told him. You should have just been like, hey, look, there's this event, I would like to go, I can totally buy the tickets. Do you want to go? She could have done it that way, and it'd have been a lot easier. like I said, she should have did something a little more simple. I understand what she was going for. I love it. I think more girls should put this kind of effort into dating a guy or showing their interest, because that is something that is really cool. You know, it's something for the both of them. It's something to enjoy. I love that. I love the effort that she's putting in, you know. But for the man's side, he just wants to be prepared. You know, it would suck that if she was just like, say he's wearing fucking normal clothes and she's wearing this Cavalier dress and he's like, holy shit, you know, and then they show up to this thing and he's just like jeans and t-shirting it up and he's just like, oh my god, I'm underdressed. Why didn't you tell me? You know, I mean, unless she buys him a tuxedo, but she didn't mention anything like that, you know. It is a masquerade kind of thing, you know. They wear nice suits, they have the little fucking masks on and stuff. So it's one of those things where it's like you should be a little prepared. If I'm being honest with you, you should have told him just so that way he can prepare. You know, and I get what their friend was talking about, but look, ladies, don't ask your friends for advice. Stop doing that. You know, go with your gut a lot of times, because especially if your friends are single, your single friends are going to keep you single. All right, let's just keep it on dope P. Your single friends are going to keep you fucking single. They are, ladies. Don't listen to them. Just go with your gut and enjoy it. You know, she went with her gut, and I love that she did. I just wish that it was to something different. Like I said, a concert, a gondola ride, going on a boat, whatever the case may be. Something a little more casual where he doesn't have to acquire a tux, get ready, you know, those kind of things. You know, I love the effort. I love what she did, and I do not think she's the asshole. The magical night thing's amazing, you know, but she could have done it a different way. Definitely, most definitely, she could have. But like I said, I love the thing. I think that's really cool. Little masquerade. All right. Okay. Ooh. Am I the asshole for calling out my date's inconsiderate behavior? So, I went on a date with this guy I met online. We agreed to meet at a coffee shop downtown. I arrived on time, but he showed up 20 minutes late without even apologizing. Okay, I'm going to preference this right now. Gentlemen, show up early. Always show up early. Always. Always. If you guys decide to meet at 5 o'clock, be there fucking 4:50, 4:45. I understand, you know, waiting for somebody kind of sucks or whatever, but trust me, she's going to enjoy that. She's going to be like, holy shit, you know, like, how long have you been here? And you downplay it. Oh, I just got here. Oh, maybe like a minute ago. You know what I mean? But get there early. Get there early. Stop. That doesn't work with girls being late and all that bullshit. It doesn't. Girls fucking hate that shit. All right. That's strike one already. And the date hasn't even fucking started. That's stupid. Okay. Let's see. He showed up 20 minutes late without even apologizing. I let it slide and we started chatting. Yeah, he was attractive enough for her to let that shit slide, but it's still strike one. Everything seemed fine until he started checking his phone constantly, even when I was talking. I tried to make conversation, but I felt like he was really interested at one point. He even took a call and talked for a few minutes while I sat there awkwardly. Strike two. I finally got fed up and told him that his behavior was rude and inconsiderate. I said that if he was interested in getting to know me, he should have just been upfront about it instead of wasting both of our time. He got defensive and said I was overreacting, that it was just a casual date and I shouldn't take it so seriously. I stood my ground and told him that I deserved better for being treated like an afterthought. He ended up leaving in a huff, and now I'm wondering if I was too harsh. So am I the asshole in this situation? You know, baby girl, you're really not. And I'm gonna keep it hundo P with you here. All right. Just being late, you know, should have already put you on your toes. You know, the fact that she kind of just let it slide. Yeah, that's why, you know, look, I always tell my guy friends, be there early. Be there early. When I go on dates, I'm there early. You know, if we meet at 5:45, I am there at 5:30. I always give myself that 15-minute leeway time. I'm always there early. I wait on her. She doesn't wait on me. You know, like, guys, that is the best piece of advice. Like, if you're going on a date with a girl, be early. Be early. I guarantee you being early is like an amazing thing for girls. They look at it like, holy shit, he's serious. That shows that, you're putting in effort already without even trying. The fact that she's walking up and sees you waiting there, she's like, in her head, she's like, oh my God, how long has it been waiting there? Has it been a long time? Am I late? Like, did we agree on an earlier time? It's going to get her gears spinning because she sees the commitment that you're putting in. And so that's going to make her put a lot more commitment in on the date, because she already is seeing that you're putting in that time. You're putting in that commitment to this date and to her. You're not wasting her fucking time. The fact that he was 20 minutes late already showed her that it's like, yeah, this date's going to go fucking bad, and it was just a snowball effect. The fact that, she sat there and was just like, I let it go and all this kind of stuff. You shouldn't have let it go. All right. You should have held it against him a little bit. It's the first date, he's late. It's like, come on, man. First date's time to show out. What are you doing? Like, my G, that was an L. That was the biggest L. Like, man, these guys out here be taking L's. They be eating L's like it's the most delicious thing they've ever had in their life, man. Golly. I don't know. Like I said, be early. Be on time. Okay? Being early is on time. Being on time is late. Okay? Men out there, you need to step it up because, you guys be wondering why, you can't get a girl to text you back. It's this bullshit right here. Okay? A lot of girls won't even tell you. They'll go on the date with you, siphon off resources from you, get a free dinner, whatever the case may be, and then never call your ass back. Trust. They're going to do that. The girl ain't going to tell you, and you guys are wondering why you're double, triple texting. It's that. It's that right there. It's something as small as that. You being early on time is going to really show out for her. And also it's great because you're holding frame, because you're holding frame in that date. You're setting the example in that date, that, oh, wow, this guy is reliable. I can rely on him to be places on time. Okay. All right. Next one we have, am I the asshole for criticizing my date's choice of restaurant? Oh, okay. So I recently went on a date with this guy I matched with on a dating app. We've been chatting for a while and decided to meet up for dinner. When we met, I was really excited to finally meet him in person. However, things took a bit of a turn when we started to discuss where to go for dinner. That is where you failed, my sir. That's an L already. As a man, you should have the date planned. Plan the date. Okay? I'm going to say it again. Plan the date. You should not be meeting up with a girl. Oh, where do you want to go? Where do you want to eat? What do you want to do? Plan the date. Even before you send that text message, Google shit. You know what I mean? Kind of know maybe the general area where she lives and where you live, and you guys can kind of, find a place that's in the middle. Or, if you're willing, go find a place near her, find a place near you, whatever the case may be. Plan the date. That is an L already. I suggested a cozy Italian restaurant that I heard great things about and had been wanting to try for a while. I thought it would be nice, romantic setting for our first date, but to my surprise, he said he'd rather go to a fast food place known for its burgers and fries. I was honestly taken aback and tried to explain how I was hoping for something a little more special for our first date. He seemed a bit annoyed by my suggestion and insisted on the fast food place, saying he really loved their food. Broke guys, stop going on dates. I tried to compromise and suggested we could maybe go there another time, but he was pretty set on it. I admit I got a bit frustrated and told him that I wasn't the best choice for our first date and that we could do better. Okay, I thought it wasn't the best choice for a first date and that we could do better. He didn't take it well and accused me of being too picky and judgmental. In the end, we went to the fast food place and the date was a bit awkward. We didn't have much to talk about and the atmosphere just didn't feel right for getting to know each other. I couldn't help but feel disappointed and I wonder if I should have just gone along with his choice without saying anything. So am I the asshole for criticizing the choice of restaurant and potentially ruining the mood of our date? Okay, all right. Like I said, plan the date. The reason being is because exactly what she just said. It's not the atmosphere to get to know each other. She's uncomfortable now. It's awkward, all that. And now she's thinking this dumb shit of like, oh my gosh, I've not just said anything. Guys, don't do this on a date. A date, when you're the man, you should simply plan the date out to the point where all she has to do is show up. That's it. All she's got to do is show up, And then for this dude, suggesting fast food. Oh, my God. I'm telling you, man. Y'all broke dudes just fucking it up for the rest, ain't you? You just fucking it up for the rest. I'm not saying you got to take a girl to a nice restaurant, okay? I'm not saying that at all. A girl should really enjoy going to a nice, middle class restaurant, fucking BJ's, Olive Garden, you know what I mean? Shit like that. Like, they should be okay with those kind of restaurants. I'm not saying that you have to take a girl to a super duper fancy restaurant. Not saying that at all. But you don't take them to fast food either. That's for when you guys are like 2 years down the road living together and sick of each other. That's what fast food restaurant dates are for. All right. My thing is you need to plan the date for one. That was the biggest L right there that he took, and she felt it, a lot of these girls, I can understand, man, they're trying to make it work. They're like, oh, he's attractive. He's got this, he's got that, whatever the case may be. Like, there's something about the guy that is keeping them there, and keeping them interested in this dude. You know what I mean? And the fact that she even went to the restaurant just goes to show that he was really attractive, or he had something going on. She really liked him. That goes to show, like, a lot of girls ain't going to go to a fucking fast food restaurant, for you. Let's keep it under P. They're not going to do that. They're just not. They're going to be like, bro, what the fuck? That's just how they're going to look at it. They're going to be like, what the fuck? You're broke. No thanks. Yeah. But if anything you can take away from that, plan the date. Plan the date. Before you even send the text to a girl to ask her out on a date, Google some stuff. Plan it out. Do not meet a girl and then talk about, oh, what do you want to do? Or you pick her up. Oh, hey, what were you thinking? No. As men, you're going to take an L every single time. All right? You're going to take an L. All right. Our last scenario. Am I the asshole for setting up my friend on a date without telling them? Whew, you kind of are. I wouldn't like that. So I have this close friend. Let's call him Alex. They've been single for a while and have been kind of in a drought about it. I genuinely want them to find someone amazing, so I thought I'd take matters into my own hands. I know someone, let's call them Casey, who I thought would be a perfect match for Alex. Casey is smart, funny, and really interesting. I decided to play Cupid and set them up on a blind date. I didn't tell Alex about it, thinking that they would hit it off with Casey. They'd thank me later. The date happened, and from what I've heard, it went really well. They seemed to have a great time and even made plans for a second date. But here's the twist. Alex found out that I had set them up on the date without their knowledge. They were pretty upset that I hadn't asked for their consent before doing something so personal. They felt like I invaded their privacy and made a major decision for them without consulting them first. Now, Alex is giving me the cold shoulder, and some of our mutual friends are saying that I should have been upfront with them about the whole thing. I genuinely thought I was doing something nice, but now I'm wondering if I overstepped and should have respected Alex's autonomy more. So am I the asshole for trying to play matchmaker without telling my friend? Damn. I mean, look, the date went really well. I mean, in this situation, take W's where you can get them. Take W's where you can get them, if I'm being honest with you. Another thing is, look, if he would have told his buddy Alex about the date with Casey, I don't think he would have went. You know what I mean? I don't think he would have went. And just the fact that he was saying, like, he's been single for a while and kind of down about it. A lot of times, when you're upset and you're kind of sad, or maybe life's not going the right way you wanted it to, or something like that, a lot of times it just doesn't make you want to get out there, and you kind of need a bit of a push from your friend, if I'm being honest with you. I understand where the friends are coming from. It's like, whoa, dude, that was kind of a little too much. But I would have only been mad at my friend if the date was bad. But the date was good. So, nigga, why you mad? You know what I mean? Why you mad, bro? The date was good. Like, she was cute, funny, and really interesting and smart. Like, I'm sure that played into things that he likes in a girl, and stuff like that. So it's like, if the date went well, what you mad about? If I'm being honest with you, why are you mad? I don't understand that. I don't understand why you're mad. I would have enjoyed going on a date, with somebody, especially if it's been a long time, and I'm not really enthusiastic about getting back out there. I'm kind of like, nah, dating's just not for me, this and that. And my buddy decides, hey, you know what? Dating is for you. And I'm going to set you up with somebody amazing and great and all that kind of stuff. That I take that as a W. I definitely do. I say take the W's where you can get them. Is he the asshole for it? No, I wouldn't say no, because that's something I would do. And I'm sure a lot of you guys would too. You know what I mean? You would set your friend up, especially if they've been single for a while. You know what I mean? They've been single for too long, and you're kind of just like, look, help a brother or sister out. You know what I mean? Yeah, get them back on their feet. But that's gonna go ahead and conclude today's episode. Thank you guys for watching. I gave a lot of good opinions on things. I would love to hear you guys' opinions on each Am I the Asshole scenario. Go ahead and comment down below. The links are down below. We have Patreon for if you want to send in your Am I the Asshole to be featured on the show, or just to enjoy the episodes that we'll have on there that are exclusive to Patreon. If you guys don't want to watch the whole episodes and you just want to get the bite-sized versions, go ahead and follow us on Instagram as well as TikTok just for the scenarios, and on those comment as well what you guys think, your opinions, and I'll catch you guys later.